moving forward. And there's a Toyota at the top of the speed charts right now. Brian Vickers is the quickest, and he's followed by the Dodges of Casey Kane and Bobby Labonte. Trouble on the racetrack. Trouble.
That's Dale Earnhardt Jr. Big trouble involved, I think, with David Gilliland.
And guys, this is what we've been talking about. This practice right here. You did not want to wind up being victimized, trying to learn something with this race car, but you just, again, this is the worst of the worst.
So 9 minutes, 15 seconds into what was just supposed to be a 45-minute practice. Trouble. Big trouble for Dale Earnhardt Jr.
And you can see immediately they're going to start unloading that backup car. They know there's no sense in even evaluating the damage on either one of these cars, really. Both these guys will get their backup car.
Let's take a look at what happened.
It just explodes.
The right rear tire did. I mean, right in the middle of the corner, and there was nowhere for David Gilliland to go.
Larry, when that tire exploded, it blew the whole back of the car off.
Another look. Wow.
There went the rear wing and everything. I mean, the whole back of the car just exploded. No place for David Gilliland to go. Casey Kane, several other cars spinning to the bottom right there. I mean, there's a lot of cars torn up, and nobody's fault, especially Dale Jr.'s. He's just along for the ride, and all of a sudden the right rear explodes.
Now, he had only run 5 laps, and even if it's the same set of tires from the first practice, he only ran 8 laps in that first practice. We're riding with Tony Stewart. You'll see the explosion right there. And, boy, Tony just got through. In fact, they're probably going to have a little bit of splitter damage where he had to drive down off the apron through the grass.
I'd say it also
amazing.
damages, I think Jeff mentioned, on the 9 car.
Yeah, Casey Kane got a piece, I think, and maybe Tony's right here in the back of him.
Yep.
He hit him and knocked him up in there. But Tony's got some minor damage to his car.
See Hamlin to the bottom. Bobby Labonte to the bottom.
Larry, I have seen a lot of tires explode in my lifetime. That has to be one of the most unbelievable situations I've ever seen.
I mean, blew the back of the car off.
All the way off.
Look at the damage on Casey Kane in the 9.
Also being told that David Rudiman suffered some damage to the 44, his Toyota.
And guys, this is the kind of damage, they might be able to fix that race car for someplace else besides Talladega, but with that kind of damage, more than likely they'll have to go to a backup car also. There's the culprit. I mean, you can clearly see that the right rear has just, come a knot.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. has gotten out of his race car, as has David Gilliland. They are okay, but the same cannot be said for their damaged race cars.
And I know Dale Earnhardt Jr., even with the 8 laps that he got to run in that first practice before he had the engine issues, was very, very happy with the way that car was driving and the way that car was running.
I must pose the question, do you boys have any idea, any speculation as to how a right rear would fail like that?
And not that many laps on it either.
Well, let's hang on here a second. We're saying fail. They could have maybe run over something and cut it and did that. We don't want to jump on somebody right quick, but you can clearly see, that tire, it exploded.
Comes apart, and we talk. Casey Kane gets into the back of Tony Stewart. Stewart goes through the grass.
Boy, Scott Riggs in a 66 car just barely squeezed through there.
I'm still amazed that Tony didn't get more damage than what he did. He really was able to whack this car to the bottom of the racetrack and just barely got in the back of the 28. Got a little bit of damage from the 9 car when he hit him, but I believe they probably will be able to fix that 20 car.
Yeah, I think the one that's borderline would be that 9 car, Jeff, because there's no way you're going to get back out there with any of these race cars like the 9 or the 44 cars. So the determination factor will be, do we go back up?
On board with Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Well, we lost the camera, but we did not lose audio.
Wow. Guys, I can tell you right now, that scared me, and I'm sitting up here in the booth and knew what was getting ready to happen. I'm telling you. Can you imagine what this guy felt and what he thought when that thing exploded?
Let's go to Wendy.
And the backup car is already off the hauler in the garage here for the 88 of Dale Earnhardt Jr. Right rear tire, as you guys mentioned, did blow. Unfortunate for Dale Earnhardt Jr. He's gone to the infield care center, but he is okay. We did hear him on the radio right before he went there. Now, the thing they were concerned about is making some quick changes to this car to get back out in this practice session. They want to get some laps on this car. They're going to hustle as hard as they can. They are going to change the carburetor and try and get Dale Earnhardt Jr. out there on this backup car as soon as possible. Now, this is the only backup car we've seen taken out. However, there are a lot of guys with some extensive damage. If you get a good look, I think Bob Dillner has more.
Well, taking a look at Tony Stewart's car down here in the garage area, it's pretty messed up, guys. In fact, he had a whole bucket load of grass attached to that splitter as he had to make an evasive move to the inside. And Tony said, hey, there was nothing else I could do, guys. I'm very sorry. But if you take a look at the area just below the right front eyelid, you can see that front body work there, well, it's going to have a lot of body work done to it, a lot of fiberglass work, because it is screwed up, but it's also screwed up in the rear of the car as well. We take a look as we walk to the rear of the car, and this is kind of just cosmetic, but you can tell that Tony Stewart got wrapped in the rear end of this car. Take a look at this. This is all just caved in, and you can see the bumper bar right here also wrecked, but fortunately this is all behind the rear chassis, the rear suspension, I should say, so this shouldn't be a problem. But they do have some fiberglass work on the front right corner of this race car to be done, because aerodynamics very, very important here at Talladega, guys.
But Bob, from what I can tell, and Larry, you can agree or disagree, I believe this car is fixable, and I don't think NASCAR is going to let them go to a backup car, because those areas can be repaired. And with the template system that is down here, they will put that car back through the grid and make sure it fits all the templates to match up with everybody else. That car can be repaired. On the other hand, Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s car, well, maybe by next year.
Yeah, I mean, you can't just decide you want to go to a backup car. NASCAR actually has to bless the fact that you can unload a backup car, which we certainly know they've probably done for the 88 and the 38 car for sure.
The 38 car of David Gilliland in on the hook as well. 9 minutes in to this practice, the right rear tire explodes on that 88 car of Dale Earnhardt Jr. Let's watch.